Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day. In today's video, I'm getting ready for a friend's wedding and I wanted to bring you guys along with me. I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you do, please give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button so you can see more of my videos. Anything I use will be listed down in the description box below. If you'd like to see how I do this, then keep on watching. I'm getting ready for a friend's wedding, so I thought I'd show you what eyeshadow I was gonna do. I've already done my eyebrows and prepped my eyes off camera. I'm going to start off using the HudaBeauty Rose Gold Edition palette. With a 213 brush, I'm going to go into the shade Black Truffle. I'm using this brush because it's really thin, and I'm wanting to use this to put the darkest shade on. That way I have a little bit more control on where it's going. And I'm just using this to mark out where I want that top shadow to be at. And then I'm going to start blending it afterwards. Do they call spring the wedding season? I feel like I've heard that somewhere. So it sounds like there's going to be a lot of weddings coming up. Is anybody watching this getting married anytime soon? I had my wedding in the fall, so because I didn't want it to be too hot, but I still wanted it to be fairly warm because I'm always cold, so I prefer when it's warm. But like my husband would have been miserable if I did it in the middle of summer. So we kind of met in the middle and did a fall wedding, and I thought the fall would be so pretty to have a wedding in. So like I chose it specifically for like the fall themed weddings. If you haven't looked that up, like you really should, because it's like one of the prettiest things I've ever seen. And I just think it's like a really good theme to go with on your wedding. I like winter weddings too. Winter weddings are pretty. But if you aren't getting married sometime soon this year, what theme are you going with? I'm curious. I've seen a lot of really cool themes. I've seen a lot of black themes coming up recently, which I think my sister, whenever she gets married, she wants to have a black themed wedding, or at least a black wedding dress. And I absolutely love it. I love that idea, and I think it's a great idea. Now that I have the black on, I'm going to start blending it out with some browns. Still using the same palette, I'm going to go into the shade Cocoa. And the brush I'm using is a M562. And I'm just going to use this and blend that top part very lightly. So I've been married for about a little over 2 years now. This year will be our 3rd year anniversary. And one of the things that I've learned most about like weddings, at least when I've experienced mine, I'm trying to think of how to put it. You want to have those people that are not afraid to tell people to go away. I think that's one of the biggest things that I tell people when like I hear about them getting married, or they tell me to get married or ask me for advice or anything. I tell them to be able to have somebody to tell family members, friends, whoever is coming up to you at your wedding to go away, to leave you alone, because you'll get so caught up on talking to people the whole time that like you won't even spend any time with like your significant other. I can't tell you how many times I lost my husband in the crowd of people because we would just get split up. There was one time that I told him, I was like, hey, let's mingle and go talk to everybody and stop at like all the tables. Well, he disappeared and I didn't find him for like an hour. And I was like, where did you go? He said, I went to go see people. And I said, I meant with me. And he was like, oh. I was like, we just got married. You wouldn't think that we should go talk to people together. Me and my husband we've been married for almost 3 years, but we've been together for almost 9 now. So we've been together for a while. Now that I've blended some of that black away, I'm gonna go back in with that 213 brush into the Black Truffle shade, and I'm gonna put it back in. I'm going to take that 562 brush that I blended out with brown and actually take a little bit of the black. And I'm going to use that to kind of blend into the brown because I just feel like it's not seamless enough. I feel like there's too much brown and then a dark black line. And I don't want that. Another thing that happened at my wedding that I regret greatly is I have this problem where if I'm super nervous or like anxious or anything like that, like I don't want to eat. I don't want to eat anything, and like you can't get me to eat. Even if I'm like telling myself I know I need to eat, I just don't have an appetite and I just can't make myself eat anything. So I ate a breakfast sandwich, like half of a breakfast sandwich that morning when I was getting ready. And then we had our dinner at our reception. At our reception we had food, as of course. I barely touched anything. I didn't eat much of it. I like poked at it and that was it. And then I was ready to get up and do other things. I didn't drink very much, but I did drink a little bit at the wedding. And like that was enough. I was only a little buzzed because like I wasn't taking any shots or anything because a lot of my friends were taking shots. I was just drinking some White Claws and that was it, because I didn't want to drink too much because I didn't want to get drunk. And like I felt fine when we got back to the hotel. My husband, he was drunk. He was ready to go to bed when the wedding was over. But I didn't drink that much. And like the next day, I was so sick and so dehydrated that like I couldn't even really move. I was in the bathroom the whole like next morning, and because I hadn't eaten anything, like there was really nothing in my stomach. And my husband, even though he was drunk the night before, he was completely fine. Like he was having to take care of me, and I was like, I didn't even drink that much. Like, why is this happening? So the thing that I regret is not making myself eat something, either at the reception, before the wedding, or in the morning. I really should have made myself eat. And I'm sure a lot of you know what I mean by like being anxious and not wanting to eat anything. It ruined the next day because we were leaving for our honeymoon and we were gonna leave early that morning so we can make it there as soon as we could. But like I could barely move. We had to pack, so my husband was doing most of the work and I felt really bad. And he wanted to stop by at the venue and make sure that like stuff was getting cleaned up and to help a little bit. And since I didn't feel very good, he just helped a little bit while they were still cleaning up. And his mom, she made me some oatmeal to try and make me feel better, and I still only like barely touched it. I just was not having a good time. So my advice is, if you're getting married and you're anything like me, make yourself eat something. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use some concealer and make a cut crease underneath of the eyeshadow to define how I want it to look. I'm using the Hydrating Camo Concealer in the shade Light Ivory, and then I'm using a 421 brush. Took some micellar water on a Q-tip and cleaned it up a little bit so that concealer has somewhere to be and the eyeshadow won't poke through. I want it to kind of go up and then like make like kind of a wing towards the top, and then I'm gonna put eyeliner to like kind of complement it. Don't be too worried if you like kind of mess up and go up a little bit more than you meant to, because you can go back in with that darker shade and fix it and just put it back in, and it'll define that line a little bit better. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fix that line. I'm going to use the 213 brush again and go into that black truffle shade and put it back where I wanted it at. I'm also kind of like brushing it on after like placing it, because I want to blend it out just a little bit where that brown is at. Now I'm just using that 562 brush again, but with no new product on it, and I'm just gonna lightly blend that black back out. Cut creases are also one of those things where like if you keep messing with it, you're just gonna make it worse and worse. So if you're just trying to like perfect the way it looks, don't. It looks fine, but like when I'm walking around or whatever, like yes, I want my makeup to look great, but at the same time I don't want it to look horrible. And I'm the kind of person that if I keep messing with it, I'm going to fuck it all up. Like it's gonna look awful afterwards. So I've learned to just kind of go with it and try and make it better the next time. All right, I think I'm done. I'm going to do this onto the other eye and then finish my face, and I'll be back to finish the under eye. I'm back. I finished my face. If you're curious what I use, I will be listing them down below, even though they're not shown. Now I'm gonna finish my eyes. I'm gonna do eyeliner on the top. I'm just gonna do a winged liner, and I'm using the NYX Professional Makeup Epic Ink Liner. This is like my favorite one to use. And I'm just gonna do a regular wing, but I'm gonna try to complement this wing. I'm gonna try to match this right here. Since I started doing these videos, I've gotten a little bit better at doing eyeliner. I'm not as nervous about doing it, but I still mess it up all the time. So they're definitely not wrong when they say like practice definitely makes it easier. I'm gonna do like a little cat eye on the inner corner like that. I also have lash extensions, so like trying to work around them is definitely something to get used to. For my under eye, I'm just gonna smoke it out just a little bit. I'm not gonna do too much. I'm gonna use the shade Cocoa with the 562 brush, and I'm just gonna lightly brush that underneath of my eye. Just wanna give it a little bit of color. I'm gonna do this on the other eye, and then I'll be back to do highlighter. I'm back. I did my mascara and waterline off camera, and now I'm doing highlighter. For highlighter, I'm gonna use the Becca Pressed Shimmering Powder in the shade Pearl. And I'm gonna put this on my inner corner with just a small blending brush. And I'm also gonna put it on my brow bone. I'm gonna change my brush. I'm gonna use a 510 brush, and I'm gonna put this on my cheeks and then connect it to my brow bone. Also gonna put it on my forehead, above my brow, above my lip, and on my chin. Using a flat eyeshadow brush, I'm going to use this to highlight my nose. And I like to put it on the top of my nose and then kind of make a line on the tip of my nose. And then I use my finger to blend it out. For lip liner, I'm going to use a Morphe lip liner. For lip liner, I'm going to use a Morphe lip liner, and this is called Clingy. For my darker lip shade, I'm going to use a velour liquid lipstick in the shade Top Shelf. And I'm just going to put this on the outer corners of my lip. The next shade I'm going to use is called I'm Nude. It's also another velour liquid lipstick. And I'm just going to put this on the center of my lips. And I'm going to use my finger to blend it out. Then for gloss, I'm going to use the Gloss by Jeffree Star Cosmetics, and it's called Legends Only. Now that I'm done with everything, I'm going to use the e.l.f. Dewy Coconut Setting Mist to set everything. That is the completed look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I like hearing y'all's feedback, so please comment down below with anything you'd like to tell me or any future videos you'd like to see. Until next time, bye.